Ladies, do y'all know that there's a difference between the gift of celibacy and the choice to be celibate? So first, let's clarify what celibacy really is. Because celibacy is not abstinence. Celibacy and abstinence is two totally different things, right? Abstinence is when you are waiting until marriage, right? Abstinence is when you are waiting or not involving in those activities for a period of time, which in this instance, as a woman of God, I'm talking to the women, I know this applies to men of God too, but as people of God, you're waiting until marriage, right? That's abstinence. Now, celibacy is something different, and that's what I want to clarify. Again, there's a difference between the gift of celibacy and the choice of celibacy. Now, the actual definition of celibacy technically means to never get married or engage in intercourse ever. That's the real definition of celibacy. So if that ain't what you want, stop saying that you're celibate, because you're not celibate. You're abstinent until marriage. Now, what is a gift of celibacy? The gift of celibacy is actually found in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 7. And I like to use a Message version for this. So this passage, Paul is talking about the standards of relationships, marriage, divorce, intercourse, things like that, right? So 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 7 says, "Sometimes I wish everyone were single like me, a simpler life in many ways. But celibacy is not for everyone any more than marriage is. God gives the gift of the single life to some and the gift of the married life to others." So the gift of single life is the gift of celibacy, meaning to never get married. But in this case, it's for the purpose of serving the Lord without distractions, without anything else coming in the way. But you are literally committed to the work of the Lord without worrying about a husband or a wife for men, children and things like that. Now, if you have the gift of celibacy, if you have the gift of single life, then you will know, because you literally won't even have a desire to get married. You won't have a desire to have children. You will only desire to serve the Lord and advance the kingdom of God. So that desire is given to you by God to only just serve him and engage in ministry in whatever ways he has. And you don't even want to get married. You literally don't want it. But it's not coming from a place of hurt or trauma or anything like that. And that's the difference. And I'll talk about that in a second. But the gift of celibacy is the gift of singleness. It's a precious desire that you have to commit yourself solely to the work of the Lord and not have the distraction or busyness or responsibility of being a wife or a husband. Now, that's different from the choice of celibacy. The choice of celibacy is normally made out of trauma, hurt, disappointment, unresolved issues. And you basically I just give up. I don't want to deal with no men if you're a woman. I don't want to deal with no women if you're a man. I don't want to deal with nobody because I don't trust them, blah, 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 blah. So you just choose to shut down. Even though deep in your heart, you really do want to get married, but you just don't want to deal with anything that might come with it. So you shut down. That's the choice. And you have that right. But there is a difference of the choice and the gift.